gotta be nice.
Let me tell you what you need tonight. A little something to whet your appetite, and it's gonna make you feel alright.
You're crazy.
No, I don't think I am.
Gravy and Carmen Kirk. Check them out as they go to work. Congratulations on your new podcast. Now open up a can of whoop ass and blast, blast, blast. This is Angelo. And I hope you like this show. Wow. Yeah.
Ooh, Carmen. Second podcast. We're here. We're in it.
We are.
Right.
Let's talk about you.
What about me?
Well, obviously the viewers can see that you don't have all that shit on your face no more.
I miss it already. I think I'm gonna get it out of the can and put it back on.
Well, I thought you said your face felt so much better when you shaved
Oh
it
man.
off.
So I just trimmed up a little bit.
No, he shaved it all off.
And yeah, the first swipe I did with the trimmer on my face, it was like a breath. My face took a breath. It was really weird. My face was like,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
it was strange. And then I was like, oh man, and it felt really good to get that beard off of there.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
Oh, tell me about it. Oh, now we're
Carmen,
going to talk about it being ridiculous.
Carmen, I can't believe you made me keep it for that long.
Don't play with me.
You had me doing this thing with a comb over. You had me.
Alex.
You had.
Alex, leave a comment, Alex. Alex, leave a comment. I know you got my back on this.
You had me doing this thing with a comb over. You're like, put it up to the side like that. You look really
No
cute
fucking
like
way.
that. You're like, yo, the beard looks so good. And I'd be like, man, I want to shape it a certain way. And you'd be like, no, don't. Keep it unkempt. Please, for me. And I was like, okay.
Don't try to play me like that.
Huh? You don't want me to play you like that?
No, I can actually give you a kiss now without your whiskers and your the hair getting in the way. It was ridiculous.
Uh-huh.
It was where I was going to work and it's just hairs on my uniform. I'm like, this is long ass beard hairs just on my shirt. So I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, oh my, something that's sticking me on the butt. I pull it out, it's a hair. Like, oh my fucking God. It's hairs everywhere.
I know. Those beard hairs were tough.
Tough hairs.
They're tough hairs, Carmen. I think I got to throw that trimmer away because I think I broke it. It had to get rid of all that hair. So I did the beard halfway through the hair on my head.
Mm-hmm.
I started off. I got the front middle part first.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the thickest stuff on my head. What are you laughing at?
Continue.
And then I was like, oh, get rid of the beard. So then I got rid of that. And, oh man, it took forever. It took forever.
Kirk doesn't like to go and actually get groomed by people who are professional groomers. He doesn't want another man standing over him, touching his face and his hair.
That is strange. It's
normal, though.
It's a strange thing to be like, okay, I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna let this man touch my head, and then I'm gonna pay him money. Right? Isn't that strange?
No.
I think
if you can't do it yourself, it's not strange. That's why people like that exist. I can't do my hair. There's nothing I can do. I have to go have another. And you know what? When you growing up and you a black girl that got to get your hair braided, you know how they do you when you a little kid? What? You have to sit between people's legs. They sit you on the floor between their legs and they'll sit on the couch. And I've been sitting there and smelling fish before.
Gross.
Disgusting. So you complaining about sitting in a chair in a nice shop, and I had to sit between a girl's legs that smell like fish to get my hair braided.
Wow.
And I had no choice because
like
that's
a flounder or
more like a perch.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. Disgusting.
Yeah. So and you got your hair done too.
I didn't get it done. I took it out.
You took your hair out. You took out the yarn that you got.
I had probably about 80 braids. And so it was a lot of work. Just the longest it's ever taken me to take it down. It was like a week taking it down because finishing up school and everything, just been tired. So I would do like a little piece here, a little piece there. But last night, and even last night, I was up to 5 o'clock in the morning. Even after you went and laid down, I still stayed up for another hour just combing all this fucking shit out. Because once you take box braids out with extensions, you have these little knots where the braids connect. And yeah, I mean, it's hard to explain.
Right.
This ain't the right audience that's gonna understand that situation. But it's difficult. So I spent a long time combing this shit out, getting all the little knots out from the braids, and I just finished it today. I stayed up till 5 o'clock in the fucking morning and still didn't finish it till today.
Right.
So you be happy.
Oh, I'm happy.
Yeah, you look good.
Oh, ugh. I hate it.
Well, now Kirk's not used to his face without the beard because he's had the beard for so long. Now he's like, man, I miss the beard. But it's going to grow back pretty quickly anyways. Your hair's already grown back. You just did it yesterday.
You think so?
Yeah. You'll feel it. Get all stubbly.
Maybe.
Yeah. It's cool, though. I think that's really cool.
What?
Finally, you got it
Finally, you say?
Yeah.
You're like,
Wasn't you tired of Jose giving you a hard time?
No, I reveled in it. I would send pictures of myself to Jose, and he was get the spider off of his head, and then he would make a lot of Bigfoot jokes. It's great, loved it.
What that lady asked you at Starbucks?
When?
The lady that asked you if you were going hunting?
No, it was at a Dunkin' Donuts. And I went in there. I said, "Can I get when you go to Dunkin' Donuts, you say, I would like a large coffee, please." And then they say, "Do you want it iced or hot?" I kind of feel like if you're going there and you ask for a large coffee, and you don't specify you want it iced, they should just give you a hot coffee, right?
Well, if it's summertime, probably not.
Okay. Well, I was wearing an orange shirt because I needed the job that I was doing at the time, I needed to be highly visible. So my shirt was orange, and I had a big beard, and I was wearing a hat, and the woman said to me, the register, she said, "Do you want it iced or hot?" And then she said, "Where are you going?" I said, "What do you mean?" And she said, "It looks like you're going to go hunting." You think that's funny?
I think that people, I mean, that's that customer service shit. I think that people have a hard time. They don't know how to just mind their own fucking business. It's funny how that works. Because I told you that happened to Latrice. And sometimes people...
Your sister?
Yeah, sometimes people just get too much into other people's business. I don't know why people do that.
Right.
Like, some of the things I see, I would never fucking ask people those questions or...
Like what?
I would never, like the lady who walked up to me in a grocery store and said, "Hey, Biden's the new president. Everything for you is going to be fine
It's
now.
going to be better now."
It's going to be better now. I'm like, bitch, get away from me.
Right.
I would never walk up to a random person and say that. So I'm going to tell you this story about something that happened last night at work. So, and okay, I didn't do the good deed, but I feel like I assisted in the good deed. So,
so you think you should get partial points?
Right.
Okay.
So I typically do one good deed a month, and that keeps me feeling good about myself. So I'll either give out 2 cigarettes per month, and that's equivalent to one good deed. Or now I'm only going to give out, I already gave out a cigarette already. And then I assisted in this good deed. So I think my good deed for the month is good to go. That makes sense?
Yeah. What is it?
So this kid, he needed some money because he just started and hadn't got his check yet. And we were going to come up with a package for him. And then this guy just went to he sneaked off the line. And he went to the ATM and he pulled out a couple $100 and gave it to him. And it was so nice because he's just somebody who's having a hard time through all this stuff.
Right.
And that was nice. And And the guy was like, I like to take care of people. If somebody's struggling, I have the means to look out for them. And I said, I do too, but shit, boy, $200. I didn't even pay $200 for shoes and then just give it to somebody.
Okay. So how did you assist?
Because I told him that the boy was struggling.
Oh, so you...
I was gonna help put together. We were gonna put together food for him, but the guy just gave him money, which was probably more needed than putting together some food.
Okay.
Yeah. So, So I assisted. He was too scared to speak up or say anything. He wasn't. He's just gonna go about his day and just keep struggling. And I just said, hey, this kid is a little bit struggling. Can we help him? And then he go on and help him. So I assisted in the good deed, and I feel pretty good about that.
Well, awesome. You should be so proud that you told somebody that somebody was struggling. And then they...
Because they were too scared to say it.
Okay. Yeah. That's pretty awesome.
Don't you think so?
Sure.
Yeah. Now today, his day is better. Got a couple bucks in his pocket.
And a couple bucks in his pocket.
Yeah. You got to say that shit for 2 weeks. $200 in 2 weeks? I can't. That's
ain't
hard
much.
for me.
No. I mean, can totally...
It's possible,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can...
You go weeks without spending $200, spending $100.
Of course.
Yeah. Especially with work and everything. That's a little more difficult for me because I go grocery shopping a lot. So I go grocery shopping and I'm like, okay, I'm going to get a few things. I'm going to spend $50, $40. But then when I get in the grocery store, I see things that I want, and I don't shop the way my mom shopped when we were kids. Like, my mom shopped with a calculator. Add that up so we know exactly where we are. Get this the cheapest stuff, this the better deal. This, like, she shopped like that, but she's shopping for a larger family, obviously.
Right.
When I go shopping, I just say, put it on the tab. I just pick it up. It don't matter what brand it is, or I'm not like, well, is Annie's mac and cheese cheaper than Kraft? I just pick up whichever one I feel like picking up.
Right.
And so when I get to checkout, and I done bought you and Dewey sausage just $6 and bought steaks that's this amount, and then I'm like, fuck, I just spent $120. I was only trying to spend $50, and the lady was like, you and $70? I was like, that ain't that bad though.
Right.
She's like, it's not that good.
You have to think about being a grocery store cashier and how much money they see crossing their hands every day.
Yeah, but that's a lot of places that see that.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, the grocery bill is a big bill
Yeah, it is.
every time. So you're like, this person just spent... I know whenever I moved out of the house and I was living on my own, I had $20 for groceries.
A week?
Yeah. And
You could do it, but you got to be smart.
Yeah, you get the chili ramen, spaghetti with the sauce in the can, don't get the jar sauce. You got to get the sauce in the can.
But you could pay less money and make a big pot of spaghetti and eat it for a whole week.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but you get the hamburger sauce and noodles, and that's less than $20, and you get a whole week on that.
Carmen, that's what I'm talking about.
No, you get the sauce in the can and you don't put hamburger in it. You just put sauce on the noodles.
Yeah, no hamburger.
So, okay.
And if you want to get fancy, I had a toaster oven and I would make sandwiches. And cheese budget. Got to put that cheese in the budget.
So out of the $20 that you had a
Maybe
week
like
for food,
$5 of
went
cheese.
to cheese.
Yeah. And I had to get the brick cheese and shred it myself because it's cheaper and you get more.
Yeah. I know. My mom used to get brick cheese too for that same reason.
Yep. Pretty cool.
And chili ramen? Why not chicken ramen?
I don't like it.
No? You
The
like
chili ramen's the best. That beautiful green pack.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, I like me some chili ramen. Ooh, and if you're making one thing of ramen, you just go ahead and get 2 ramens. Just make 2, put the first one. I overcook my ramen. I turn that ramen into Jello.
I know, I can't stand it when you do it. I'll be looking at you. I'm like, and he don't even got that much juice in there. I'm like, this is struggling.
You boil it out.
You boiled it all out.
Yeah, you boil it out. And so, I overcooked the ramen, and then you make 2 at a time. You go ahead and throw half of it right in the refrigerator immediately, right? Mm-hmm. Save that for, one's your breakfast, one's your dinner. You save it. Maybe dinner time.
You cook it and then you reheat it?
Yeah, you cook it, throw it in the refrigerator.
The packs of ramen.
Right.
Boy, it's just not, like, you just don't got to live like that. Like, that's not the way to do it.
Carmen, so then you take it out. When it's dinner time, you take it out. You put it in the pan, heat it up, throw some egg in there, some of that cheese you got. Oh, you got a nice meal right there, Carmen. No?
I've seen the people on Skid Row cook on little hot plates.
What about it?
And it's better.
It's better than what I'm describing? Oh, man.
Yeah. That's funny. But you mentioned noodles, and I was telling you that story of my cousin. My cousin, she stays with my uncle, and my uncle was making ramen for her children. Mm-hmm. And her middle son, and he's probably only like 6 or 7, and he's crying, and my uncle was like, what the fuck is he crying for? Mm-hmm. I'm trying to fix him some food. What is he crying for? And he was like, I want the juice in it. I want the juice in it. Mm-hmm. And then she was like, he want the juice in his ramen and his noodles. Mm-hmm. And he was like, he want them wet? And she was like, yeah, he was like, why didn't he just say he want the noodles wet? Because I guess he scoops it out the pan with a fork and just puts it in the container.
Right.
The kid is used to how ramen should be eaten with broth in it.
Right.
And so the last time he got noodles and they were dry, and he was so disappointed that this time he started crying before the noodles were even finished.
He said, you don't give me that shit no more.
And he was like, what the fuck is he crying for? Why don't you just ask for wet noodles? Open your mouth and ask for wet noodles. Mm-hmm. And he's like, dude, no, not wet noodles. Leave some broth in a bottle. Not just wet. Pour that juice in there, dude. Mm-hmm. What are you doing? Yeah. It's so funny.
Noodle juice.
It's funny because kids nowadays are more particular, but I remember growing up and we pretty much just ate what our parents put in front of us. Mm-hmm. Like, I tried to make tuna fish and rice recently, and I was like, this is the most grossest thing ever. But my dad used to do it, and it was great when we were kids, it seemed like.
Right.
But now I'm like, oh, it's trash.
Ugh, you can't do it.
Yeah, you pretty much just ate what your parents put in front of you, and you kind of developed the taste from there. But it was less identity for kids, I think, when we grew up versus now. Like, now kids are like outspoken. They're like, let me tell you something, Linda. Like, these kids are doing a lot of shit that I wouldn't have gotten away with. I don't know how your household was specifically, but I'm sure your ass would have been grounded if you did certain things, if you didn't listen. Mm-hmm. And nowadays it's not like that. People on their iPhones, they like.
Do you think that's because
technology?
Kids have phones and stuff as they're younger.
Technology.
But also parents are more distracted with the technology, distracted with their own phones. Yeah. To care more about their kid, you know? You think they're kind of put on the back burner because the parents are less attentive?
Yeah, because my parents didn't have cell phones that did all the stuff cell phones do now.
Right.
Like, especially when flip phones and pagers were popular. Like, you wasn't on your phone doing all that. I remember when we first got a computer and how slow it was, and you call and you get that little on the phone. Like, yeah, so going from that took so much time to just start up the computer and like search things on it. Wasn't no unlimited Wi-Fi and things like it is now.
Right.
So I think you're absolutely right. I think the parents are more distracted. For sure, in some cases. And I think that with so many kids being exposed right now to all the social media stuff and having cell phones and tablets and laptops, even if your kid is not exposed, you got to go to school and be around other kids. Right. You're going to be exposed regardless.
Yeah. You know, it's weird because one of those YouTube videos you like so much is the two brothers
Yeah,
and the
it's a good one.
the kid. He didn't get a hot dog.
It was two twin boys arguing over a pack of hot dogs.
Arguing over a pack of hot dog. He said there's 4 in the pack, right?
Yeah,
There's one for you, one for me, and then one for another guy.
for the little brother. Or
For the
something.
little brother.
Yeah,
And then the big brother ate 2 of the hot dogs.
yeah. He said he cut one up for them to taste
Yeah,
it before the hot dogs.
He
got
said we
cooked.
cut one up to taste it. And he's like, we've been eating hot dogs since these are the little tiny children. The little boy said, we've been eating hot dogs since we were 1 year old. You forget what a hot dog tastes like?
He was so angry. He was like, "I didn't even eat mine with bread."
Yeah, he's like, I didn't even eat mine with bread. And he's like, and they're like, you had to have 2 hot dogs. And then he was like, but I didn't even eat mine with bread. Like, that's the excuse. He's like, no, but I didn't get it. You at least had bread, but you had 2 hot dogs, right? So, and then the kid is being recorded by probably the older sister or the mother.
The older sister. It looked like the older sister. She was cracking up laughing.
And she's laughing at him. And the little boy, the one that ate the 2 hot dogs, one with no bread, he's looking at her and he knows he's being recorded.
He notices that he's being recorded. Right.
And then like he kind of changes his behavior
Yeah.
a little bit.
He starts to get a little tough.
Right. Yeah. But also like self-conscious, you know?
Yeah.
You can see that he's like, oh no, I'm being recorded.
Yeah, you can see that his body language and everything, he started getting self-conscious. And then like when you start getting self-conscious and you're a boy, then you act out in a different way. You're like, you're not gonna make me feel like that.
But that's if somebody was recording me at that age, I wouldn't know it. I wouldn't know what to do like that. You know?
Yeah.
Kids know what to do now.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird.
It is weird. I guess I never thought about that. Like, I remember when I was younger and we had the Polaroid cameras that you got to shake the picture with.
Oh, you're not supposed to shake them.
Oh, well, I shake them.
Yeah, that's because the song came out. Shake it like a Polaroid, right?
I don't know. I think that was
You
before.
don't remember that song?
I was really young, but I remember that. And then I remember when they had the
Polaroid came out and they said, don't shake them.
Yeah.
But I think
But people still did it.
Yeah.
Because it makes the thing come in quicker.
okay.
I mean, it feels like it does anyways.
Mhm.
And then they had the disposable cameras. Now, check out the camera we got. This is, everything's evolving.
The phone, you mean?
No, I mean, like we had Polaroid cameras when I was a kid, and then they had the disposable Polaroid cameras that you could go get printed out and all that stuff. But check out the camera that we have now.
Your phone.
No, the camera we have.
That camera?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, look at that compared to a goddamn Polaroid. Like how much technology has advanced since we were kids.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
What do you think the next 20, I won't say 20, the next 10 years will hold? What do you, if you could, is there anything you would want to be introduced? Or what do you think is going to be the next big thing that happens?
The coming thing,
Yeah.
what will happen?
I'm trying to, let me, it's a good
Maybe a sunscreen watch.
Or, yeah.
Oh, what? You know how like okay, so they make like mosquito bracelets. So like you put on the bracelet and then mosquitoes don't bother you.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing, only with sunscreen. So you don't have to like apply sunscreen to your body.
You just put on a sunscreen bracelet?
Yeah, you put on like a sunscreen.
That's just not
bracelet.
going to happen.
No, it could though, Carmen.
No.
Elon, we're talking to you, huh?
Elon ain't got time for no shit like that.
You don't think
He
so?
like, nah, just put the sunscreen on. Be a person.
He's like, dude, just
just put the shit on.
Is this hard?
Mm-hmm.
Is this difficult?
Those girls told that girl at camp, said, I don't think she's supposed to be putting that on.
There was a black girl at camp,
Yeah.
and
She was super dark too. She's a really dark girl.
And
she definitely didn't need that fucking sunscreen.
she was putting on sunscreen, and
Because all the other kids were doing it. Like, okay, she's in camp. She's in a group of a bunch of other white kids.
uh-huh.
So they're going to do their swimming.
Right.
So all the kids line up they get their sunscreen, and then they go put on their shoes and their stuff and their swim clothes, and then they get into the water. So what is she supposed to do? Stand over to the side and say, "Oh, this part don't apply to me." Like, what is like? Is she not supposed to stand in line with the other kids? I don't know what she was supposed to do. Like when they got to her, say, "Oh, I don't really need it," and go and just walk away. Like, what was she supposed to do?
And they're giving all the kids pumps. They're all lined up, and then they just skip her.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Do she stand out of the line?
Right.
And then that's awkward. And then it makes the other kids look at her as she different because she's separated from a group.
Right.
And the girl said, "You're not supposed to be putting that on." And then I can't remember what program staff it was, but the girl was like, "She can put that on if she wants." And the girl said, "I'm pretty sure she's not supposed to."
You think that's funny?
Yeah, I think it's hilarious because, I mean, it's not that she's not supposed to. I mean, putting that shit on your skin to protect your skin from the sun is not a bad thing. It doesn't matter what color you are. But she ain't gonna get no sunburn.
Right.
But I mean, it still protect her skin from the sun rays. I mean, so it's not that big of a deal.
Right.
If she wants to put it on. But I've never worn sunscreen a day in my life. I wouldn't know what to buy. I've never bought it. I've never even paid attention to it in the store. I don't wear sunscreen because I ain't never been burnt up before.
Right.
And I'll be outside in the water for hours and won't get sunburn. I feel like I might have gotten it one time.
Maybe the one time.
I think one time when we were like out on the beach for like hours and hours, but I'm not as dark as that girl was.
Right.
She has way more melanin in her skin to protect her from that shit.
One time, it was my first year on Catalina, and we were out in the sun, hanging out on the beach all day long. I didn't put on any sunscreen.
Yeah.
And I got fried. Benzo did too. We both got fried. We just looked, and my skin was peeling for like over a week. Oh man, it hurt to put on a shirt. It was just rubbing, and oh man. And my boss at the time, he would slap me on the back and be like, "Hey, you're doing a good job, man." And he knew what he was doing. Oh, I hated it. Oh, but it was. Yeah. So then
You have to put it on.
That is the time where I realized that I had to wear sunscreen, and I've been a sunscreen man. You ask.
How didn't you realize that when you was a kid?
You ask my parents; they'll tell you that I was stupid and I never put on sunscreen, and then I'd be all burnt. They'd be like, "Did you put on?"
Oh, when
sunscreen?
you were younger, you would get burnt,
Yeah.
and they would say, "Why didn't you?"
Why didn't you put on the sunscreen? They get so mad at me. Yeah. I just never did it. But after that time, I was like, sunscreen. I'm a sunscreen man now.
No, you didn't learn your lesson because you were a glutton for punishment.
Huh?
You're a glutton
Why
for
do you say
punishment.
that?
Because you were working at that job, and that girl said you need to wear sunscreen.
But I was wearing sunscreen.
No, you wasn't. You were going days and I put it on, and you was burnt up, and you was my color.
I was not. I was not. I was not
You were
quite.
leather.
I was not quite your color.
No, but you were dark from not.
Yeah.
You wasn't wearing sunscreen, and you
I was
was
definitely darker than your sister.
yeah, for sure.
But
It's just one of those. It's just an additional thing that you need to do to go outside.
Right.
It's kind of shitty.
yeah.
Well,
Gotta get sunscreen. But you don't have to put so much on if you have a beard.
white people are vampires.
Yeah. Vampire folks.
Burn in the sun. It's crazy.
So Taco Bell had a bunch of menu changes this year, right?
Yeah, not happy about them.
Why not?
They took off the Mexican pizza, and
The
that's
Mexican pizza.
That's what I go to Taco Bell for, the Mexican pizza.
So I get emails every day. From Del Taco, right?
Yeah.
And the email that I got this week, maybe the week before. One of these days, it got an email and it said ghosted by the bell. It was on the email. It looked like a picture, and it was like, if you were ghosted by the bell, call this number. It was 1-800 blah 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 blah, and I was like, what is it? What does it mean? Ghosted by the bell, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at it, and Del Taco has come up with tostadas. They said Taco Bell got rid of the Mexican pizza. We got tostadas now. You come to us if you're jonesing for that Mexican pizza. They got 3 different types. There's a phone number, and they're like, leave a message and tell us how you feel about Taco Bell ghosting you, getting rid of. Oh man, it's savage, Carmen.
Oh my God.
It's savage. I love it.
Like Del Taco, like y'all do y'all thing. I understand that, but you ain't about to come for no Taco Bell and win. You're not gonna win a fight against Taco Bell. They a bigger brand and it's more known. It's in more places around the country. So why they going after Taco Bell like that? Y'all can't win against Taco Bell.
I don't know. I think it depends where you are. If I was living in Los Angeles right now, I would certainly be going to a Taco Bell more often. Sorry, a Del Taco more often than I would go to a Taco Bell.
Right. But people here don't know what Del Taco is.
Right.
People in Michigan
but that's not
don't
their
know
customer
what that is.
base.
Right, but Taco Bell is everywhere.
Right.
They fighting a bigger beast. Now, considering the fact that, this would still be an unfair fight because Subway is having a struggling ass time right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could go after Subway because they're declining rapidly.
Right.
And I don't know why they are declining so rapidly, but the last study that I read was like, I forgot how many businesses, but it was a lot of them that got closed down. And
Well,
it was like, what's happening with Subway?
Subway was one of those cheap franchises that anybody could buy into.
But it's the biggest franchise in the world right now.
And they were everywhere. They're too close to each other.
I know. It's like one on each block. Like, awesome.
It's like, I love Quiznos, right? I love me some Quiznos. No? I love me some Quiznos. But most of their locations are gone now too.
They have them in like the airports and stuff.
Right, in the airport. And
well, that's probably because they made that commercial with the rats on it.
oh man, we were at Quiznos subs. It feels good to us, right?
It's like, as a kid watching that, I was fucking mortified.
It's a Quiznos commercial. Ooh, are they rats?
They're like little rats or something.
They're like some sort of rodent, and there's this like they're seeing this.
It's like a bunch of rats with mariachi gear on,
and like a pirate hat
or something. Yeah,
I can't remember, but it's very annoying.
Anybody listening can go look it up on YouTube.
Go Google that Quiznos rat commercial. Yeah,
like, why did you think that was a good idea?
Somebody lost their job.
I guarantee
somebody lost their job.
Absolutely. Because I told you about it and you didn't know about it, but it was something.
I remembered it once I saw it.
Right.
I feel like I did, but I don't actually know if I did.
Because that shit probably got snatched down quick.
Right.
They put that shit on it was coming on TV on commercial breaks, and I was like, what is this? They got rats? As a kid, I was like, I'm never going there.
Never going to the Quiznos?
No, and I've never been to Quiznos because of that commercial specifically.
Oh, that chicken carbonara though.
The
commercial, Baja chicken.
The commercial freaked me out.
I'll
Rats and food.
Crazy for some Quiznos right now. Oh, now
they screwed themselves with that because rats and food don't go together.
they do go together.
Apparently.
You're right. But I find that I like that Del Taco is doing that because Taco Bell, its menu is so simple now. And the reason they got rid of the Mexican pizza is because of usage, paper usage, because it comes in a cardboard box. And they're like, we're taking this item off the menu to help the environment. Right? That's their reasoning for getting rid of the pizza.
Or you could put it in something else. It wasn't like the cardboard box was a good idea anyway. What the fuck?
It's crazy.
That shit would get soggy.
Oh, man. I remember back in the day, they used to have a chili cheese burrito at Taco Bell. Whew, so good. You ever have an anchorito? Oh, that was pretty good.
No, I like the smothered burrito there, though.
Yeah, burrito.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah. Oh, man. The Taco Bell of yesteryear. I don't even like Taco Bell anymore. I used to love Taco Bell.
Well,
We used
that's
to-
because we live in a place where the Taco Bell is mediocre.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like not even hot. You have to heat it up at home and shit.
Yeah.
So,
You want this lukewarm Taco Bell?
Yeah. I was watching a video online of a McDonald's, and it's crazy because the person filming was a customer.
Mm-hmm.
So the customer is watching. Multiple customers are watching this shit go on, and it's a video that went viral, and it's a mouse running around the kitchen in McDonald's, and the employees are freaking out because all the customers are watching them.
Right.
So the employees, like, it was a couple of the guys, and the guys are like trying to catch the mouse because he's like in panic mode, so he's like squirting all over every fucking thing.
Right.
And they're all trying to catch him. And then he jumped in the damn fryer, Kirk. And everybody was like, they was like, ah! Like all together. Everybody was like, ah! You guys need to be shut down. That's it. Y'all, like, after that shit, you got to be shut down.
Right.
That's unacceptable.
That's crazy.
Even if you clean it up, you have a mouse problem for that to be happening in front of customers. So either you I don't know what the solution is, but I'm pretty sure that viral video fucked their business up.
That McDonald's?
Yeah.
It's like
Nobody want to go there after that.
But what McDonald's was it? You'll never know.
No, I think it went viral. Like, it was posted.
Yeah.
It was known what McDonald's it was.
It was?
Yeah, in the comments they were talking about it and everything. Like, people knew where it was located and all that.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And the employees are like mortified. Y'all all about to lose y'all job. This bitch getting shut down. Because once that happens, people in the neighborhood is like,
They said, no, get that McDonald's out of here.
Exactly.
McDonald's is so gross.
I want you to try this place called Elmer's Hamburgers in Detroit. It's a staple in Detroit. It's been there since I've been born.
Right.
And for at least 50 years. My mom had it when she was growing up too. Elmer's Hamburgers. They're these little tiny burgers. They're bigger than a White Castle burger, but they're little tiny patties, and they got all these onions and mustard and all that. It's the best burger I've ever had before. And next time we go to Detroit, I really want you to try it.
Yeah, maybe I will.
Yeah, I think you'll enjoy that a lot.
Elmer's Burgers.
Elmer's Hamburgers, yep.
There's a place in Louisville. It's called Ollie's Trolley. It's only open like a couple hours a day, like during lunch. It's in downtown Louisville, and it's in a trolley, if you would. And I don't know if I've ever had them, but it's like that. It's one of those like staples of the city, you know. But I don't know if I've ever had it. I want to say that a friend of mine, Corey, brought me one time or had me get one, but I can't remember. That's how good it was.
Yeah.
If I did have it.
Yeah. Well, I know my mom just asked if we could come to Detroit for the 4th of July.
She did?
Yeah.
Wow. What do you think about that?
I was like, no.
Oh. Okay.
Because, like, my mom don't understand how much it costs to, like, travel. Like, that shit not easy. And also, we have two people. It's two of us. We both have to take off of work. And all that. It's a lot that goes into it.
Right.
Than just jumping on, like, if I could just jump on a plane and just stay wherever for free and then have to actually pay for the trip, yeah, I take trips every fucking where. But I have to pay for that.
Right.
And we also have rent and bills
Rent and bills.
and everything else. And I work in the kitchen.
Right.
What you think I'm fucking rich and I could just take these trips?
Yeah.
I just took a trip to Detroit.
Yeah, you just went there.
I can't turn around 3 months later and go back. Like, no, that's a 5-day trip. And I didn't spend a lot of money, but I spent enough.
What's a reasonable amount of travel for a year?
Twice?
2 trips?
Yeah. At least one.
That's reasonable?
I think it's reasonable. I mean, me and you are taking a trip, and we're most likely going to take another, and we're also going to Vegas. So we are taking 2 trips for the year. That's 2 trips, and it's at the end of the year. If we were vaccinated quicker, we would probably be 3 trips a year. Yeah. But at least, if I'm going to do 2 trips a year, I don't want to do 2 trips to the same place in a year. That's the whole thing that she don't get. Like, I just came from there.
Right.
I don't want to go, like, I want to take a trip somewhere else.
We have 4 parents and they all live in different
different
places.
states, right? I can't come see you 2 times when it's 4 parents.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, oh, well, I just thought I'd ask if you guys want to come.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't hurt to ask.
No, and then she asked my dad, if he would come on the 4th of July.
Uh-huh.
And my dad said, is Carmen coming? Because he knew I wasn't coming. Like, Carmen coming? She's like, I don't know. I haven't asked Carmen yet. And he was like, well, if Carmen and Kirk go, I'll go.
Oh,
Knowing that I wasn't going.
Uh-huh.
He already knows we're going to Florida and that I wasn't going.
Uh-huh.
So that's what he told her.
Right.
If Carmen and Kirk's not going, I'm not going. If they come, then I'll show up.
Uh-huh. That's weird.
He's just being funny. He know that I can't turn around and go back there.
Uh-huh.
My dad understands that I work and I can't just take trips every 3 months and spend all this money.
Right.
Like, it's not reasonable.
No. It's unreasonable.
Mm-hmm. Well, I want to bring up this. This is one of the funniest videos on the internet. Me and Kirk watch it a lot. I think it's amazing. Is Cat Williams versus Wanda. If for anyone who hasn't seen this video, all you have to do is go on YouTube and look up Cat Williams versus Wanda, and the video will pop up. You can watch it. It's one of the funniest videos ever. Cat Williams, the comedian, the small pimp.
Right.
Pimp
in
named
distress.
a pimp named Slickback. On the Boondocks, that was his character.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
He was on the Boondocks?
Mm-hmm. He was a
Wow.
pimp named Slickback. He used to
Wow.
be slapping hoes and everything on that show.
Really?
Yeah, he was out of control. Yeah.
Okay.
So this video is Cat Williams versus Wanda. I love this video.
He's doing morning radio
Yeah,
because he and Red Grant are in that town, right? What town was it?
it's Atlanta.
Atlanta.
V103. So
And Wanda's the morning personality there.
right, the morning radio person. She is also a stand-up comedian, and that's probably how she got the gig there in the first place.
Right.
So, how it started off, from what I understand, from what Red Grant explained. Red Grant was doing a show, and he was coming up to the radio station to promote his comedy show. Him and Cat Williams are friends. He was at Cat Williams' house, and Cat Williams actually woke him up in the morning and said, "Come on, get up, Grant. It's time to go to the radio station." And like Red Grant was like, he woke me up at like 4 o'clock in the morning and was like, "Come on, Grant.
Yeah, you
Come
have to
on,
do that
Red.
early."
It's time to get up. We
Right.
got to have breakfast first." So they get up, they get ready, they go there. And when Cat Williams got there, he explained that he did not want to be interviewed. I'm here to support a friend. And I think he even said, like, Red Grant was like, he didn't even want to come in the room. And they asked him, like, just come in the room and sit down. And, like, we might have
It'll be
que-
really good for us.
But, yeah,
Yeah.
we might have a question or two, but we won't interview. We might just, get your input on something like, for the interview. But it was Red Grant's interview.
Right.
The interview starts off with Red Grant actually talking and answering questions. But that part of the interview you hardly see unless you go back and watch the full video, because they're just clipping out the argument between Kat and Wanda. So Red Grant completely gets ignored, and it
Right.
was his thing.
Right.
And then it starts off, and then all of a sudden the shit go left. It's an all-out shit show.
Right. Because Wanda starts talking to Cat Williams, making jabs at him, like
Right.
going to jail
And I think that she was doing that because she was already upset that he didn't want to be interviewed. So she was purposely going like, and that's what Red Grant said. He was like, he said specifically they had an agreement before he walked in the studio, and then she started talking and just went completely off script.
Right.
And then she started throwing jabs and talking to him like, I think she felt a certain way because she's like, I'm a comedian, you're a comedian, like why wouldn't you give me that alley-oop? Either way, it didn't end well for her.
No. He starts to make her sound
Stupid.
stupid. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's so much going on in this
they
small
ask what
clip.
she likes to make for her kids, and she's like, "I make a good broccoli."
Yeah, well, she asks him first about his kids and what he makes, and he explains to her what he makes for his kids and how he do it on a budget. And then Red Grant says, because Red Grant and Cat Williams, they gonna double team your ass because
Right.
they best friends. So Red Grant is like, "What kind of stuff you cook?" But first, Cat Williams asks her like, "Aren't boys simple?"
Right.
And then
She's like, how many kids you got? She said, "I have 3 boys." She goes, I have 3 boys.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, aren't boys simple?
Mm-hmm.
She was like, It's like, aren't boys simple?
And she said, yeah, they can be. And then he was like, I know that Wanda did more cooking in the early days than the latter days.
Yeah.
And then Red Grant said, well, what kind of stuff do you like to cook your kids, Wanda? And she said, I make a really nice broccoli. They love my broccoli. And then it was just all out fucking war after that. He was
Catwoman was like, go on there and look on your phone and tell me how to make broccoli. First thing, heat up water.
he said you can't burn it because it's cooked in water.
Yeah. Oh, man.
It's so, anybody listening, you have to go check this video out because it's definitely a laugh.
And we watched it last night, actually. And you can see in the booth that, like, in the control booth where they're, like, all the people are laughing at her, laughing at Wanda, laughing at Cat Williams, making fun of this, their local radio person.
Their fucking boss.
Their boss.
Y'all all fired after that. Like, y'all gotta go. Y'all not being interns no more here.
And then Frank, his name is
Frank Ski.
Frank Ski. He's laughing.
He's laughing
but
too.
he's trying
to control it.
He's trying to get it out. He's like, we gotta finish this.
Just like, let's get him out of here because he's about to destroy her.
He's gonna destroy her. And then the clip ends. It was great.
Yeah, one of the things he told her, he said, you look big on the radio.
Yeah, you're big for the radio.
He said, you look big on the radio.
Uh-huh.
People can't even see her. And
Right.
he's like, but they know you fat from how you talk.
Uh-huh.
That's fucked up.
It's crazy.
Especially for a woman who's a larger woman. You already know that hurt her feelings.
Right.
It's like, like, and then he talked about her jewelry and said that you get
It's gas station jewelry.
He said you go down to Citgo or Quick Trip and buy 2 packs of Newport cigarettes and you can get everything that Wanda has on.
And we'll even throw in a car wash.
That's so fucking rude.
Like the jewelry she's wearing isn't even good enough to buy. Like you
get it with the cigarettes.
You get it with the cigarettes and a car wash.
And a car wash.
Right.
You get a free car wash for just taking the shit off their hands pretty much.
Yeah.
He's out of control. He's so disrespectful.
It's crazy.
But that video of her and her husband confronting him after that happened.
Right.
Because apparently, like, after it happened, they went outside and all the fans were outside of the station like, yeah, Cat, you got her ass. So the fans had caught wind of it from listening to it.
Right.
And they were all congratulating him. So this girl, but when he walked up to the club, you see her and her husband. Cat Williams say her husband put out a gun on him.
Right.
I saw the video. He didn't even get close to the man. He just turned around and ran away real quick.
He was scared.
He was scared as hell. Nobody even chased him. He just ran away. Her husband is huge, though. He looked like a fucking bodyguard.
Yeah, I imagine. I mean, was this before or after Cat Williams fought a teenager?
This was after.
Right. So he's already been embarrassed before.
This boy was only 13 years old.
Guy was 13
but he was a large fucking 13-year-old.
Cat Williams was visiting in a high school for something. Why was he there?
He was there just hanging out with the high school kids, just like there to like show support. He was in the area. He visits schools sometimes just to like, hey, how's it going?
Right.
I'm Cat Williams. Being inspirational to the kids pretty much.
So, and then what happened?
The kid start talking shit. Him and the kid was going back and forth, and he didn't like. The kid was winning in a football game or something. Like, yeah, like I got, like, talking that little shit. Like, yeah, I got your ass. And he's like, you ain't got shit, you little dusty ass little boy. And then I can't remember what the boy said to him, but he punched the boy in the face first. A 13-year-old child. He punched his kid in the face, and then this kid gets on his ass, and it ain't nothing. He's like, let me go, little boy.
Yeah.
Let me go, little boy. And they like, let him go. That's Cat Williams. He's never going to come back here.
Right,
But like,
yeah.
he punched the kid first.
Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
He's
Cat
a
Williams.
riot, man.
So Cat Williams, I'm pretty sure he sometimes is in the mindset where, let me try to avoid some situations. Okay, I just humiliated this woman. in her town on her radio show. Mm-hmm. Here comes her husband.
I mean, it's
and
his
he's
town too.
And he's a big man. Maybe I'll just run away.
Yeah.
You're right.
But then he said he was confronted with a gun.
Right.
But he just ran before he even got to the guy. He just saw them standing there and just took off.
Yeah.
Running.
I was like, nope, not
Nope,
today.
I'm not even about to have his altercation.
Yeah.
That's
Good
funny.
on him.
Well, I think that is the end of our show.
That's it.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening. If you have any questions or suggestions, please go to sweetgravypod@gmail.com and you can catch us on YouTube and everywhere else.